Hello, everyone. Welcome back. We are Pole on the Call podcast. My name is Mændy Mac,
And I am Cris Rivers.
and today we are so excited to be here with the amazing Tobin, the owner of Love Pole Fitness.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for being here with us today, Tobin.
Yes,
Of course. My pleasure.
I guess we should start with the question that we always begin with is what got you into pole dancing?
So it was a long, long, long time ago. A friend and I she was definitely more into fitness than I was. I had just had my first son, and I was feeling down on myself. Definitely just felt like a milk bag that did dishes and didn't sleep. And I wanted to do something for myself, to feel like me again, to feel like a woman, not just a mother. So she was like, "Hey, I saw this Groupon. It's for this pole dancing place. Would you want to go with me?" And in the back of my head, I was like, "I can't leave. I'm a mom now." My son was about 3 months old, and then my mom told me, "You have to. It's 1 hour a week. You gotta go. You gotta do it. You're gonna lose yourself." And I listen to everything my mom says now that I'm older, not when I was younger for sure. So I bought the Groupon. I went with her. Um, Actually, wicked funny story. In my first class, the poles weren't mounted and the pole came down off the ceiling in my first class. Yep. Yep. Just the dome slipped, went right off, and all the way down to the ground. And I still wanted more.
You still went back.
I still wanted it. I still wanted it. I wanted it bad. So I was really bad when I started, but I'm the type of person who wants to do better. Like, this isn't going to win. I'm going to win. So I took a few more classes, and I think by the second or third week, I had bought a pole already, and it was in my spare bedroom.
I love that. Your mom motivated you to go, and I can't even believe that the pole fell. I would have been so nervous.
I tell that story all the time, and people are like, "You went back?" I'm like, "Yeah, I mean, I didn't get hurt." So I don't know. Looking back on it now as a studio owner, I'm like, "What? No way." So yeah, that's my hilarious, like, first class story. Yeah.
That's incredible. I mean, I can imagine that must have helped when you got your home pole a couple weeks later. This is not happening to me.
Yeah, I was like, "No, no, 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 no. I don't care if you break the ceiling, tighten that thing, tighten that thing."
Oh, well, did you have any sort of dance background or anything before pole dancing, or you
Um,
were just
Not really, not really at all. I was a cheerleader for 2 seasons. But I was like the anti-cheerleader. Like, I was a cheerleader because a couple of my friends were, but like our team colors were blue and white, and like I had short blue hair. Like, I was a cheerleader, but I wasn't a cheerleader. Like, the extent of it was cheer practice and cheering at football games. That was it. So no, like, I didn't do jazz tap, any of that stuff. Never took gymnastics, none of that.
So, with no dance background history, what I guess, what style of pole dance did you end up falling into?
Exotic, definitely exotic. I went through the awkward, I called it the baby deer stage of pole at the beginning, when you're like, wait, all of this is uncomfortable, everything hurts, I can't do this or can't do that, and push through that plateau and pulled more and more and more, and found myself again, found what I liked, researched, social media and other pole dancers, and I was like, oh, that's what I like. But it wasn't really until the year probably 6 or 7 that I was like, all right, I figured myself out. I know what I like and what I want. And the transition started happening then. And it took a few years in that transition also to get into like, I don't care about X, Y, or Z. Like, this is how I want to move. This is how I like to move. And this is what makes me feel good. So this is what I'm going to do. But yes, it's on the exotic side for sure.
I love that. Thank you for sharing, especially with it taking 5, 6 years to find yourself, because it is a long journey, and oftentimes pole dancers try to rush into it.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So thank you for
Right.
sharing.
Of course.
Right. And it takes time to find your voice too. And sometimes you just have to like try a whole bunch of different voices first before you
Right.
can figure out.
Yeah. And like, and that goes back to your previous question with the dance background. I wasn't a ballerina. I didn't do any of that stuff. I love to, I started pole dancing when I was 21, 22, excuse me, 22. And, before that I was going to clubs and shaking my butt and having fun. And then I became a mom and that kind of stopped. So this gave me another way of being able to do that without spending all kinds of money and getting dressed up and going out late at night, not being with my family. So I was able to express that part of me through pole.
Right. It's like your me time.
Yeah. Me time, 100%.
Yes.
I love that. I guess I have it wasn't on the list, but being a mother, and you were a new mother when you started pole, did you find pole helped you reconnect with your body, especially after giving birth? I know sometimes I hear from from women who have had a child, that sometimes they get in their head about their bodies.
Yes, it definitely did. I ended up gaining 80 pounds with my first son because I was like, I'm pregnant. I'm going to eat Taco Bell every day because I can. Not a good idea. Not a good idea. So that was the other reason I started pole, was because I was self-conscious because I had gained a lot of weight. And after the first 6 months of polling, I think I lost about 50 pounds. Or maybe 50 pounds was maybe in the first 4 months. It was quick. And I was doing 1 hour a day. That was it. Drop the weight. It took me a few more months to get the rest of it off, but I was like, this is incredible. Like, I have reconnected with my body. My body is back. I am stronger than I was before. And I'm the same size as I was before, which was really awesome. Yes, I reconnected with my body, and that was awesome. And I actually pulled through. I have 3 sons. I pulled through my 2 pregnancies after that, only gained 20 pounds each time. And I was in the hospital for a C-section on a Friday and out watching the Patriots game on Sunday afternoon. So I swear to God, it was those oblique crunches, because they got to cut the middle, but the sides from all of those Cupid oblique crunches, they got me in and out. And I was back to teaching in about 5 weeks, actually, back to level 1. Yeah.
That's incredible.
Thank you.
I can't even imagine.
I've got some pretty funny pictures of me at 8.5 months teaching like a choreography class. Some of my students are like, I remember the first time I met you, I walked into class and you were 8 months pregnant. I'm like, yeah, well, gotta do what you gotta do.
I love it. That's so inspiring. Thank you for sharing that, especially for pole dancers who might be thinking about having children, or they just had children and they're finding their way.
Yeah, absolutely. Moms can do it. Moms can do it, and you can come back. Like, totally 100%.
Hell yeah. Right. And then raising the next generation of pole dancers is important too.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, totally. All my boys pole.
Yes.
My oldest, not so much anymore, but my middle and my youngest love to do double stuff with me, and it's a blast. It's a riot.
Oh, that sounds like so much fun.
I feel like children have the natural ability for it.
Yeah. Oh my God, the children. Yes, of course. They're like, oh, we just started. We have our first summer camp for kids, and I'm so excited to get the kids bowling. It's not next week, but the week after. And I'm so happy that I have like-minded individuals around me that are like, sign my kid up for pole camp. So it's great.
That's
That's
so
so exciting. Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you like to go into more about that? How did you start that? Oh my God, children polling in America, that's huge. I love that.
So we had, I had a group of girls for about 4 or 5 years that took pole with me, but they became teenagers and things, you know, kind of changed and they moved on. So it isn't, I should clarify, it's not just pole camp, but it's pole and lyra and silks, but we are doing it all together. The people, I guess, are really starting to recognize that it can be sexy and it doesn't have to be sexy. There's a sport behind it, and that they're safe in I love pole fitness, and they're excited to have their kids doing an out of the box, different, healthy, fun summer camp. So I just said, you know what? There's the YMCA and there's this and there's that, and that's all great, but let's see if kids want to do aerials. And we had a pretty good reception to that.
Yeah, I wish that was available when I was younger.
Same here.
No kidding, right? I know. Absolutely.
Right. I didn't start aerials into my 30s.
Right. I know. I'd be nailing that rainbow Marchenko right now if I started when I was
know,
11. Now I'm old and nothing works.
I know, right?
Too funny. I love it.
Well, what made you want
So,
to become a teacher?
I feel wow, that's a really good question. Well, maybe we don't want a teacher. It was more so not wanting to be a teacher, but wanting to share the world of pole with other people. I was a full-time cosmetologist when I decided to change careers and open my own studio after a few certifications and, you know, a lot of serious research and training. And I feel like I use my experience training new stylists in the cosmetology world, and you know, my love for people and communicating with people and sharing things with people. Um, it just brought me into wanting to open my own studio, and teaching, I feel like, came naturally. And especially because I'm a mom, like I have to handle and teach my children. So being able to handle and teach other people came easy because I have that sort of compassion within. And just like watching those smiles on the faces of students when they achieve a goal, or when the light bulb goes off, when they get that trick, it's just so rewarding that it made me want to do it more and more and more.
I love that. Thank you for sharing that.
Of course.
that is beautiful. And when did you end up opening your studio?
We opened in 2012. We opened in 2012, May 1st, 2012. So we just started our 12th year. This past May. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, do you want to tell us a bit about your studio? And I know I wanted to say thank you too, because you've been so helpful to me and giving me advice for our studio. Just because you have so much experience, and you know, you really eased my mind when we talked the last time, because I was really concerned for things, but you really like put some perspective into it, that studio life is full of changes. And
constant changes, yes.
Yeah. Do you want to tell us a bit about some of the changes that your studio has experienced?
Yeah. So we started like a little baby. We were 750 square feet, 6 poles, crammed in. It's a really small space. We've actually kind of moved every 3 years. We moved to a 1,200 square feet location about 3 years after we opened. We moved into a 1,500 square feet space shortly after, or 3 years after that move. And we've just moved for the last time. I'm never moving again, to a beautiful space. We're actually inside a fitness complex. So on the left side of the space is a full gym, full equipment, sauna, steam room. And on the other side are 4 private businesses in their own little units. So we're in there now. It's awesome to be in a solely fitness-based space. We have increased ceiling height. We've increased the amount of poles and mirrors. It's going really, really great. We really love where we are. And do you want me to like tell you about the studio and like what we offer? Or I don't know, I guess I need more advice on the question.
That is on the list, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, do you offer only in-studio classes, or are there online classes?
So we do
morning, evening.
We try to touch all the bases: morning, evening, in studio, online. We do private lessons online or in studio, and we also do aerial silks and aerial hoop, flexibility and contortion, chair dance. We have a really great burlesque intensive coming up. We do belly dance, pop-up belly dance classes. We try to hit all the bases, and we're opening up some new contemporary pole dance classes during the day. But the schedule is always changing and evolving. And we try to offer as much as we can and as much as the students are looking for. That's why you're coming.
I love it. Thank you so much for that. Do you want to tell us where your studio is located? I know you mentioned it's in a gym, but where exactly is it located?
We're in Millis, Massachusetts, 27 Milliston Road, inside Encompass Fitness. It's probably about 10 to 15 minutes from 495. About halfway from Worcester to Boston.
Oh, excellent. Nice. I really love that it's in a gym too. Have you found that it has changed the way you teach at all? Do you like make people do cross training?
It hasn't quite yet, but we only moved in April 1st. So I'm actually working with the gym right now to kind of do a crossover workshop where the trainers take the gym trainers take the instructors into the gym and show us. I mean, some instructors know, but some instructors are still a little unsure, like good cross training exercises or, exercises they can do to enhance the pole muscles. And in turn, we're going to bring them in and show them what we do, because a lot of them are, unsure as to what exactly aerials are and pole as well. So we're working on a cross reference. We've definitely had gym members join our studio, which has been great. I use the gym facility, which is awesome. So there's definitely a lot of crossover happening. It's just, it hasn't fully happened yet. I apologize. My phone is at 5%. I'm going to run and grab my charger super fast. I'm so sorry.
I love that it's in a gym. I think that's cool. It's like mutually beneficial.
I know, that's exciting.
Wasn't there another studio? There was Real Pole Dance. They were also in a gym.
I believe so, yes. I remember. I can't remember where the location is, but you're right. That sounds fun.
Oh yeah, and Kenny Deary as well in the Crunch Fitness. Yeah.
That'd be fun. And then the cross training and cross referencing was awesome.
Yeah.
Reach out to Planet Fitness.
Right.
So sorry. So sorry.
Yeah, no worries.
We're just discussing.
We're good. All of a
Discussing
sudden, you guys went dim, and I was like, wait a second. Okay.
We're just discussing how cool it must be to be in the fitness building to be able to do that cross training, that cross reference and learning.
Yeah, I knew it was the space when I walked through the gym. I mean, the gym is very large. They have every piece of equipment, every giant sized tire, every, you name it. And I walked through and I turned the corner in the gym and there were rings hanging. And I was like, this is the place. This is the place. I'm going upside down on all of this stuff. And they had a rope to climb. And I'm like, oh yeah, winner, we're moving.
I love that. Around here we have like what, Planet Fitness, Anytime Fitness.
Yeah, we have those too. But this place is actually really great. It's a small privately owned fitness complex. Not only is it the gym, and the gym offers Zumba and yoga and Pilates, but there's also a mixed martial arts business. There's a boxing business. There's a massage therapist, which is awesome. And then there's us. So we have everybody and everything. And it's really cool working with other businesses as well to promote each other and to help everybody out and bring each other business and just work together and network. It's really cool.
All you need is some food.
I know.
And then you'll never leave.
Our gym is right next to a plaza that has 2 restaurants, a grocery store, a CVS, a bakery, a liquor store, dry cleaner, nail salon. Like, it's one-stop shopping. You can get anything done.
I'm moving in. I'm moving in.
It's great. It really is. I'm like, oh, we're out of alcohol. Just Walgreens. Takes me 3 seconds or CVS rather. Walk right over, grab it, walk right back. Done.
That's so perfect.
Yep.
How many teachers are part of your team?
So right now we have 9 instructors. We have 9 teaching various things. I did actually interview a new instructor today, which I'm very happy. He is a lovely gentleman who is an amazing contemporary dancer, has a love for pole, and can't wait to see what he starts putting together. We started teacher training, and I'm really excited because he's going to bring something absolutely great into the studio. So it'll be 10 shortly, hopefully. So yeah, we
Do you want to tell us a little bit about the teacher training process?
Yes. So I will say most of my instructors that we have right now have been with us 3+ years. I really enjoy taking most of them started as students and are now instructors, and I really have a solid formula as to how classes are taught, meaning covering warm-up, covering conditioning, covering the lesson, covering cool down, like a good formula. And the students who have been pulled to be instructors are aware of that from taking classes for so long and how things kind of operate. So the teacher training process, it definitely starts with a meeting. It starts with, goals and what you can bring to the table. It then goes into shadowing, and I give homework. I'm like, all right, this is what I want from you. This is what I want to know. What do you got about this? So I give homework. We collaborate. I then do a couple of test classes. I'll take the class, you teach it. We're big on spotting. Like, spotting techniques are huge important for new instructors, because being able to teach a dip spin is a little bit easier than knowing how to spot a cross knee release. So I focus a lot on the spotting. And when I feel like everybody's got terminology, everyone's got spotting techniques, lesson planning, then we kind of go from there. But it's individual based. It's more of like how is this going for you? Do you need more from me? Or, I need more from you, vice versa.
That's awesome. Thank you for sharing that. I'm always interested because I feel like we're all on these separate islands of, getting pole teachers, and
Yeah,
some have
yeah,
certifications and some have, on the job training, and every studio is so different as well. So it's just,
absolutely. I don't
yeah.
require necessarily like a certification. Um, it's been 12 years for me, so I know what's safe and what's not, what's, proper muscle engagement, what's not, what's proper spotting and what's not. So I feel like if you can show me those things that are proper, then you're qualified. Not that I don't love certifications. I do. I'm expert certified. I got my first certification in Miami at Miami Pole Fitness before expert was even doing certifications. That's how old I am. So yeah, I definitely think there's qualities in a graded pole instructor. If you can be safe, you can be smart, and you can do things correctly, then you have options.
Yes. I love that. And it gives everybody the opportunity to do it, because sometimes certifications are expensive. Not everybody can go for that.
Absolutely, absolutely. And they're infrequent, they're expensive, and like I said, I'm not dodging them. I have them, and I'm proud of them. I pulled out my Expo level 1 and 2 book the other day to look something up, and 12 years, however many years later. But when you know what to look for and you know what's important, then and you can train in training properly and the right amount of time, I think that it could be good for any pole dancer.
I agree. Yeah. So do you have any competition or performance experience you like to share?
I do. I do. I have performance and competition experience. Yep. I've done PSO, oof, 4 or 5 times. I'm not sure. Um, I've come in first. I've come in last. I am. I actually bartended for a long time at a couple towns over, and we would do a PSO prep run through at the bar that I worked at. They had a stage, and they always had live music and stuff. So they had a stage, and they let me bring in poles and put poles up, and we would do our um, Northeast performance showcase there. It was a lot of huge, huge fun. So I always felt more comfortable there. I love dancing and I love creating choreography. I get the worst stage fright on the planet. So I usually go about every 2 to 3 years, and I'm like, when I get the bug back and I want to do it. It's funny that you asked because I've like approached it completely differently than my first competition. My first competition, I was like out for blood, read that manual 16 times, made sure I didn't break any rules, no deductions, like followed everything. And now I'm like, I just want to get my ass on stage and do what I like. So this is the closest category to what I want to do. I'm gonna jump in there, and I don't like put me last, don't care. Just give me my 4 minutes. So yeah, I do. I've done 5, I believe 5 PSO competitions. And as far as performances, just like I said, at the bar that I worked at, and I don't know, now there's probably more, but God, it's been so long.
That's awesome. That must have been so fun to be able to practice those PSO pieces in the bar environment.
Yeah, so I shouldn't say it. Yes, it is a bar, but they have a dance floor. So we're off on the dance floor, and there was seating and so on. And yeah, it was only about 7 minutes from my studio, so it was great. Like it was in town, and it was right there. And they gave us the night, and it was always awesome. It was always awesome. And I wanted to give that to my students, like I've performed, but this is their first time performing outside of the studio. I'd like you to perform outside of the studio once before competition to see how it feels for you.
I love that you provide that for your students. And I also love that you said that you had more fun performing on that stage than you did at the competition because of stage fright. Because I agree.
I'm the worst. I get up there and what am I doing? I've done this routine 7,000 times, and like I miss one heel clack, and I'm like, I'm gone. I might as well be in Africa. Like my brain is so far away. Like I'll dance. I'd rather dance for, I don't know. It just scares the crap out of me. It scares the crap out of me.
Still love it though.
But I still do it because it scares the crap out of me. And one of these days I'll be okay at it. If the pole can fall out of the ceiling, I can keep pushing myself to perform and not be afraid.
I love it. Although if you might be entitled to some money.
Love it.
Oh my gosh.
That studio's not a studio anymore, so unfortunately, but long time ago.
Well, do you have a favorite pole trick?
Oh yes.
Ooh. Yeah. Yes, maybe. I don't know necessarily about a favorite, but maybe more of like a party trick. Like everybody, whenever we have an open house or a showcase, and whether or not I'm performing, somebody always makes me do an Iron X. Like it's always the thing. Like get up there and do an Iron X. I'm like, come on, man. I really do love Cradle to Jade. Like that's one of my go-tos. I'm trying to think of all my defaults. Yeah, inside leg hang to Aisha. Those are probably and machine gun. I think those are my go-tos.
Love it.
Those are some good party tricks.
Thanks.
Like, I do an Iron X. All right.
No, I'm always I'm the owner, so like I'm prepping the music for the showcase. I'm making sure there's ice in the drink thing. I'm like running to grab a cord for the tablet because it's gonna die, and I'm never in it. And then all of a sudden I hear my name. Why don't you come up here? And I'm like, oh man, that's always the one. Yeah. Okay.
Funny.
On top of everything. Well, what do you have a least favorite pole trick?
Yes.
Yeah, I got a couple. So like there's a couple that are nemesis. There's a couple that like I still force myself to do. I can't, like sitting up from brass is still every day, all day, scares the shit out of me. I don't know why. Gennaro just won't do it. Like not won't do it, excuse me. Like my body won't do it. My brain won't do it. They just, nope, no Gennaro. Can't get that. Nemesis. Brass from a layback. Can't. Nope. Like that upside down twist. No, thank you. And as much as I do things like up at the top of the pole, our poles are 13 feet. I will drop down into anything, but don't ask me to invert that high. Like I am the most like height afraid aerialist on the planet. Like I'm scared. But I do it. I'll get up there and I'll drop into stuff or climb up there and do a trick. But if you don't ask me to go upside down that high.
Thank you for admitting that, because I'm also afraid of heights, and I feel like every time I admit that, people are like, "No, you're not." But like, I hate inverting up there too.
Yes. I do it, and I'm like, ah! And I'm like, why? It's no different than 4 feet below you. Will you calm down? Nope, can't. I was changing out riggings. I taught silks and lyra combo class today. I was changing out riggings at 13 feet, and I was like, like, honestly, if I fell, not that I would, I'd be fine. I'd be fine. Like, I just, but being up on that ladder, I was like, please, Lord. I am like the most height afraid aerialist on the planet.
Right? Like, don't think about it too much. What if
Don't think about it. Don't think about it. While I'm holding, like, I'm also holding the rigging. Like, I'm holding the rigging, changing it out. Like, you're not going anywhere. You're not going anywhere. Stop.
Oh my gosh. It is real. People can be aerialists and afraid of heights.
Yes. Yep.
Cris, no, you're not afraid of heights, Cris.
I love all of it. Everything that she's not a fan of, I was like, oh, those are my favorites.
I like get the chills just thinking about it.
I don't know if it's like the adrenaline. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe. Oof.
Oh my gosh. Do you want to share any tips that you have for maybe like business tips for marketing your studio or anything like that?
Business tips for marketing. Like we spoke about before, I'm probably the world's worst social media poster. So I can't give any advice or anything like that about social media. I think there's stages. So like, and this could probably be a whole nother podcast. There's stages of what and when. When you're starting out, there's definitely a lot of giving things away for free, which sucks because that's when you need the most money, when you're starting out. And then you kind of transition into, all right, like I'm kind of on a steady path. Maybe I don't need to discount so much. And things get a little bit better. But there's always ebbs and flows. You end up having to move, or you end up people move, the season changes, summers are slow. I would say talking to people, meeting people, being with people, a customer service relationship, not customer service, I apologize, that was wrong. A like physical meeting and relationship, going to places, talking to people. What we do is intimidating, and what we do has a stigma. So being able to look somebody in the eye and verbally reassure them that they're going to be safe and happy and fun, and giving that genuine experience is definitely what I think has helped me in the past. Never stop sharing it, never stop giving it to people. And eventually after that first, after starting out, don't short sell yourself. Know that you have value. Your time is valuable. Everything you do is valuable. And as much as you want to discount something to draw them in, somebody who wants to be there is going to be there. So don't discredit yourself. Just keep sharing the word, keep letting people know what you do. Show them pictures, show them videos, invite them for that free class, but also draw the line as to, what they can take from you. Don't make sure they're not taking more than you can give.
I'm so glad you mentioned about the boundaries. Yeah, because it is really hard. We're doing something that we love so much, but you do have to like separate, what you do as a business and what you do in your personal. Yeah.
And that takes a lot of time. So if you don't, there's no time frame on when you do that. If it takes you 3 years to do that or 5 years to do that, that's fine. But eventually the boundaries are completely necessary. And, if people want to be there and they want what you have, they will make sure that there's a budget for it.
Yes. I love how you also mentioned to go out there and talk about it, because you're right. What we do is so stigmatized, and the only way to fight that stigma is to talk about it, make it an everyday conversation, teach people, and fight that ignorance on the subject.
Yeah, and it goes the opposite way as well. You know, depending on who you're talking to, like, hey, you get a freak flag, come let it fly here. Like we're cool with that too. You know, like, and I'm not saying play to the crowd because that kind of sounds like what I'm saying, but the atmosphere should be inviting and accepting. So like if you're not into exotic dancing, take a private lesson, take a lesson from this instructor because they don't like sexy stuff. They're more into fitness. You know, give them the options. Like, yeah, go see her. She loves to twerk. Go see her because she just conditions. You know what I mean? Like we have all of the options. You know, let them know that they can be safe and healthy and enjoy fitness in any part of it.
I love that. Thank you for that.
Of course.
Mm-hmm. And do you have any advice for anyone who is looking to start a studio?
Ooh, yeah, it'll be okay. It'll be okay. Those late nights, those long hours, those sitting there hoping someone walks through the door, it's all worth it. It might not feel like it right now, but it's worth it, and it will happen. It will come, and don't stop trying. Don't ever stop trying. You'll be okay.
Thank you for that beautiful advice.
Do you have any advice for anyone looking to start pole, or maybe who is already been pole dancing and maybe reached the stump? Any advice for pole dancers in general?
Yeah, I've had this conversation. We had, since the move, we had a pretty decent influx in new students from the gym. And my biggest advice I would be, like, for someone starting, yeah, it's hard. It's hard, but it's not unobtainable. I feel like a lot of beginner pole dancers get scared by the fact that they're bruised and wicked sore after their first class. And there is so much more of a world past month 3 or 6, not only physically, but mentally. And it's a challenge. It's a challenge. It's like quitting soda. You know what I mean? Like it sucks and you want it to be different, but you have to allow your body and mind the time to get over it. You know what I mean? I didn't click. I couldn't do a back hook for about 4 months. Back hook. All I wanted to do was hook with my outside leg, not my inside leg. And no matter what I did, I couldn't get my brain past it. But I kept going and I kept going. And I try to remind my students of that all the time. Like this one time I couldn't do a back hook. Like, yes, I can do an iron X now, but there was one time where I could not for the life of me do a back hook. And it drove me insane. It's one of those things that can be extremely rewarding, and you can absolutely fall in love with it and build up who you are as a person if you just keep going. Don't be like, oh my God, that was hard. I'm sore. I have bruises. I'm done. Nope. If you really like it and you really want to be like that person on Instagram, or you really want to find this part of yourself, don't stop. Just don't stop. Don't get discouraged. I wish, like, I'd never recorded back then. That's another thing. Always record. I never recorded back then, but I wish I could take video and show my students and be like, hey, you know how you're like, I just want to look like you? This is what I looked like 10 years ago. So keep going. You know, it takes time. It takes time. That's it. 3 letters. 3 words. It takes time.
It sure does. Thank you so much for sharing that.
Absolutely.
Right, it's hard, but we can do hard things.
We can do hard things. Exactly. Yeah. We can do hard things. It just takes time. There's always a plateau. There'll always be a plateau. Once you nail all the things that you're working on, the next set of things are going to be hard. You're going to plateau. And then all of a sudden you're going to get stronger and you're going to practice it and you're going to get all of those things. And then it's on to the next, on to the next.
That's the journey.
And then sometimes that years ago won't happen again for a while. It just happened.
Yeah. And there's also things you're not going to get, like a Gennaro and sitting up from brass after 12 years, and you're just going to have to deal with it and move on.
I love it.
Oh my gosh. Well, I think, Cris, did you have any?
Our most common question besides why do you pole dance, what grip do you use, if any?
So I make a joke in the studio, like I'm a super slut for grip. Like I am the streaker with the thing who's like, what do you need? With like opening up my trench coat and being like, what can I help you with? I use all of it. Mainly depending on the season. Like I'm a dew point in the summer because I'm dry, like I'm very dry. I'm an ITAC pretty much always. Dry hands, not so much. Firm grip, I can't. My skin is too sensitive for firm grip. But I keep it all on hand and I share it with the world because it makes a hell of a difference.
Alpha, we're like, what pole grip do you use? And you're like, yes.
Yes.
All of
some
it.
people are like, some students are like, it's cheating. I'm like, no, it's the difference between crushing your goals and struggling mentally and physically. Like giving into grip. It's not giving into grip. It's gripping up to
reach your best potential.
Reach your best potential. Thank you.
Yeah, and give you confidence because everyone's skin is different.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. For sure. There also I have a few friends working on some awesome grip removers as well as pre-grip things because we all get in the shower and we soap up and we're like, there's the ITAC, there's the firm grip, and you're in there scrubbing. So a good friend of mine has worked on that. So there's all kinds of stuff out there, and I'm actually, at least locally, I don't know like how nationally, but there's other options coming, like a pH balance, like another friend, pH balancing pre-grip thing, pre-grip lotion. So you put on the pH balancer and it's more receptive to the grip aid. I think we've come a long way when it comes to that stuff because dry hands was the only thing that when I started, and that was just because golfers used it. So I think the grip game in the pole industry has definitely changed.
It sure has. I feel like a lot has changed. The resources, the grip game. I can't wait to see where it goes.
Yeah.
I think that's awesome about the grip remover because it sucks trying to get some of the grip off of your body and it hurts your skin.
Yeah.
It's
called Apothecary, and you guys can check it out. It's pretty sweet, and it will help you get the grip off of you before you shower. It's really awesome.
Yeah. Thanks for sharing that.
Yeah, I'll send it to you guys along with all the photos of my studio and all the stuff that I didn't prepare for, and I'm sorry.
Yes. Okay. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Is there anything else you wish to promote? I think this episode will air at the end of June, the first or second week of July. We'll definitely send out the date. But anything you want to promote for the summer? Anything at all?
Mændy's coming in September. We have summer camp, definitely. We have our burlesque intensive, which is super sweet. First day is craft making, boas, pasties, all kinds of cool stuff. Second week is fundamentals. Third week is choreography, and fourth week is performance. So that's our burlesque intensive, which is pretty sweet. I'm doing an ass class workshop, which is all twerking, jiggling, clapping, all that good stuff. But yeah, just if you're ever in the area, please come visit. Anybody who's listening, and always share the love.
I love that. Thank you so much. We'll have all those links at the bottom.
Thank you guys. It was so good to talk with you. I appreciate it.
Yes, this was so much fun. And thank you again for all the help that you've given me personally too.
Of course.
Personally
If
and business.
If you ever need me, I'm here.
I appreciate you so much.
And it was nice to meet you too.
It was so nice to meet you, Tobin. I hope to visit your studio someday. I can't wait.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Anytime. You're more than welcome.
Pull on the call.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then you got to come to do a workshop too.
I want to so bad. Yes. Yes.
Hell yeah.
Pick a date.
Yes. Yes, let's do it.
All right, guys, have a wonderful night. Yeah. Enjoy your next call.
Thank you so much.
Expose our heels.
Oh, shoot. I took my...
Right?
Hold on.
I love it. Too funny.
Miss Mændy Mac.
And I'm Cris Rivers.
Yay, we're here with the amazing Tobin of Love Pole Fitness, and we are Pole on the Call podcast. Ooh, I love it, right?